Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming to our workshop today. This will be about a 30-minute crash course on the Lyft app. I'm Melissa. I'm one of the community engagement outreach specialists with Mobility for All. Yeah, we're hoping that after this you'll have a little bit more familiarity with the app, and yeah, let's just hop into it. Just for the sake of Zoom, if you get disconnected, you could always join via the browser or the Zoom link that we sent to you. You could also call in if your computer is not working. Yeah. Other than that, we can just hop in. You could keep your cameras on if you're comfortable with it. We love seeing your faces. And then please mute unless you wanted to chime in, just so that we can make sure that everyone can hear everything. And then you chat in the chat, and any questions, comments, or just chit chat can be in the chat. And then we will be recording the meeting, so it'll be on YouTube later on, so you can go back and watch it. And then, yes, I introduced myself, but I'm originally from Long Island, and I moved out to Boulder around 2 years ago. And I used Lyft a couple times, but I'm more of an Uber person. I'm not sure if anyone else wanted to share their Lyft experience.
Mine's the same as yours, Melissa. I'm more of an Uber person, but I've used it a little bit.
Yeah, same for me. My name is Jessica, and I have used Lyft in the past. So I always check which one is cheaper, and that's the one I use.
I do that too. And the shorter wait time.
Anyone else would like to share, feel free. Otherwise, we'll just keep moving on.
Am I muted?
No, I can hear you.
Okay. No, I mean, sometimes I find that Lyft runs cheaper, but not, I haven't been using either of them right now just because of the wheelchair, and I guess I could, but I haven't done it yet.
My name is Leonard, and I live in Niwot, and I've used Lyft a little bit.
Mhm.
What about you, Karen?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever used Lyft. I've just used Uber.
Okay.
Cool. Well, hopefully by the end of this, you'll have a little bit more confidence using Lyft, but we're kind of excited to just give you an overview on it. So we are with the Mobility for All team. It's a program within Boulder County, and overall we try to promote equitable, affordable, and accessible transportation options for limited mobility users. And that could come in all shapes and sizes and ability levels and ages. So we want to try to connect people with a variety of different options and emphasize like having backup options for the different aspects of your life, because we know that one mode of transportation doesn't necessarily fit all needs. So we're hoping that by having a robust transportation background, you'll be able to kind of cater to those diverse needs, whether it be like social, economic, affordability, independence, quality of life, health, all of those overlapping things in our pretty flower-like Venn diagram there.
So pretty. Needs to be a sticker. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
It is a sticker.
So Mobility for All's objectives are more or less expanding affordable transportation, fostering collaboration through our MAC meetings and our other agencies like the local version of Dr. MAC. We promote multimodal transportation options and provide like workshops and one-on-one calls to kind of provide people with those resources. And then we advocate for human-centered transportation planning. So we want to make sure that like we're moving people where they need to go, not necessarily cars, and we want to make sure that the infrastructure should reflect, should cater to the needs of the people, not just be infrastructure out there that isn't being used. And then we also, try to incorporate transportation in other plans as well, and apply for grants so that we can kind of expand this work. And then as for the ambassador program, we have several ambassadors from all across the county, and they support us and work with their surrounding communities to kind of expand our reach and connection for transportation options. So today with the workshop, we'll be using Lyft. This is just one workshop in a series. So we will be kind of focusing on this one in particular. So if you're interested in the other ones, we also host those workshops as well. As for the introduction for ride-hailing apps, we know that ride-hailing itself is similar to a taxi, but is run through an online app. The most prevalent options are Uber and Lyft, where you call the driver like through an app on your phone and they come pick you up at a location and then bring you to another one. There are differences between the apps. Go to the next slide. There are differences between the apps, and the apps are constantly updating and changing. So it won't look exactly like the display, but you'll have a little bit of an orientation around them. So you have a little bit of familiarity. And then we understand that everyone has different preferences and accessibility settings. So however you use the app that works for you is perfect. As for privacy, Lyft does collect and use and share data from its users, such as your name, your email, your phone, that whether or not you're using the trips, whether or not you're taking trips, and financial transactions and stuff like that. So if you are interested in learning more about privacy, definitely head to their website. And then other than that, while the COVID risks are not so stringent anymore, obviously your safety and public health are number one. So use your best judgment when you're riding the car. If you feel like wearing a mask, wear a mask. Cross at a crosswalk. If you feel like it's not an ideal location to cross, and the app is telling you to cross, don't listen to it. And then just cross when you feel comfortable. And then obviously add an emergency contact number on the app, just in case something bad happens. They have someone who they can call. All right, let's dive into the workshop. So hopefully at the end of this, you'll have a little bit more confidence using Lyft. We can connect you with some of our ambassadors, and for completing the workshop, we're going to have people are going to receive $50 credits to go out and try Lyft on their own. So hopefully you'll be able to comfortably feel confident to do that after this. All right, so step one, we are going to download Lyft. You'll go to your app store, whether it's the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, depending on your phone, and you can type in Lyft and you'll hit download. And it should be the top one. It's a pink square with the word Lyft on it. But it should download in a couple minutes. Once you open the app, you'll have to allow for access to your location. You can tap allow while using the app, and then the app will only track your location when you're using it. That way you know where your pickup locations are, so the driver knows where you are to pick you up, and so that you could just have a little bit of familiarity to where you're going and where you're headed. So after that, they're gonna ask you to enter your cell phone number. And if you have an iPhone, Lyft will send you, well, either way, Lyft will send you a 4-digit text code to confirm that phone number. And if you have an iPhone, sometimes it'll just like pop up in the header and you can kind of just click. That's the code from my messages and it'll automatically go in. But other than that, you can go between that messaging app and the Lyft app, get that number and then put it in. And then the code should work, you put it in, and then after that, it asks you to allow for push notifications. So it just you'll receive prompts or messages about your ride. You can change this in your settings, but it's good to have the notifications so that you know when your driver is on the way or if they've arrived. So I recommend doing that. And then now we are ready to book our first ride. So let's start that. When you're booking a ride, you'll go to the home screen, and there should be a little search bar that says where you're going. So you'll type in your destination or your landmark. It doesn't necessarily have to be your current location, but you can type in some a landmark of some sort or an address, and it should be able to take a guess from where you're headed. So your route, once you've picked your destination, should appear on your screen with an estimated arrival time, and it'll also see where your closest drivers are. Those will be the other little vehicles that are around you in your location. And then it'll also say like an area, in your area, what the ride price would be for each of the options available. You can choose like shared options where you and another person will be riding together. It's kind of like a carpool scenario, or you can pick something a little bit more individualized for your like economy, or if you have the need for extra seats, you can book those as well, luxury and stuff like that. So you can scroll around to see what the available options are. And it's just important to note that the shared option might take a little bit longer because your driver is picking or dropping someone off within your ride as well. So just important to make a note of that. And then once you've done that, you can add a pickup location, and you can put a pickup note if that's needed to say I have a gate code for my apartment complex, or I'm wearing this color shirt, just so that they'll have a little bit more of an idea of who to look for, where you might be standing and waiting, and stuff like that. And then once you've done that, you've basically booked your ride, and the Lyft app will display information about your driver and their car. It'll be like the driver's name, the make and model of their car, their rating, the license plate of their car, and then maybe a photo or icons that will allow you to call or text your driver through the app. They won't have your phone number. It's just calling through the app itself. And then once you've reached your destination, Lyft will give you the option to tip and rate your driver. You don't have to do this, but it's an option for you. But if you choose to do it, you have to do the tipping through the app. And then you can add whatever percentage or value you like, and then you can rate them, 5 stars being the best, 1 being the worst. And then while you're on your trip, here's a few safety precautions just to be as prepared as possible. So stay inside of a store, a house, whatever, until your ride arrives. Don't wait outside. And then just confirm that you're getting into the right car. The license plate of the car, the name of the driver, they should match what you see in the app. And you can confirm this with your driver when they come to get you. Don't get in the car until you've confirmed that it's the right driver and the right car. Always ride in the back seat and wear your seatbelt. Check your driver rating. If they're lower on the scale and you don't feel comfortable with that, you don't have to take that driver. You can reschedule a different Lyft. And then just follow your car's route on the map, in your app, just to make sure that you stay like on the route that you're supposed to be in. And then one other thing is to never pay cash. You shouldn't have to take out your wallet at all during your trip. Any money is exchanged through the app, so you don't have to pull out your wallet. Speaking of money, we will add a payment method through the home screen. Which is on the upper left corner of the menu. There's 3 horizontal lines. You'll tap payment and then add a payment method. You can do a PayPal, a credit card, debit card, and then once you complete the workshop, you'll also be able to use our credits as well. And then from there, if you have a preferred method of payment, like a credit card or PayPal, on the next screen, you'll be asked to add that information. That'll be your credit card number, your expiration date, the CCV, the three numbers on the back of your card, the country and the zip code for where your card is issued, and where you live. And then you'll hit save to finish, and that will be stored in your app for the future. And then as for the public transit that's available, it's featured in the app, the public transit available in your area. If you go to the bottom icon on the menu, it's in the middle. It'll have all of the options available in your area, and as well as like when the estimated, how far the estimated walk is, where it is on the map, and then the frequency that the bus comes and goes. So you always navigate public transit through the app as well. Okay, and then I will be talking about access on demand through Lyft, which is only available to passengers with an active Access-a-Ride account. But if you have an Access-a-Ride ID number and you're currently certified to use Access-a-Ride, you can fill out the enrollment form on RTD's website, and they will subsidize the first 25. Well, they will cover the first $25 of your trip through the Lyft app, up to 60 trips per month. After the 25, everything else is on you, but it can be a huge option for folks if Access-a-Ride is not an option for that particular area. So you'll complete the form. I've screenshotted what it looks like, but it's only a couple questions, but complete the form and submit it, and hopefully they will prove it, and you'll be able to request a ride as usual. Request a ride as usual, and then you'll see a voucher in your payment options and activate it. And this will also show like how many trips you have remaining for that month. And like I said, you have up to 60 trips per month to use. But yeah, that's also another option available. And then this is, and then on the next slide, it shows like what it would look like once you've booked your ride. It should look the same as when you book it regularly, but it'll show like your driver's name and all of that. So after that, you'll also get an email saying that the voucher was used. All right, and then that's happy riding.
Oh, I was gonna say that if you use the same, you should use the same email and phone number too in that form as in your Lyft account.
Okay, yeah.
That's probably a
on
given.
the
but-
voucher, on
on
the
the-
enrollment form?
Yes.
Okay,
Or else it won't work.
awesome. Cool. And then we would, if this was in person, do a demonstration, but we are just gonna open for Q&A.